Welcome, welcome, everyone. Shit, it's not doing it. Hold on. Will it do it if I'm tapped in the game? Yeah, there it is. Oh, I'm still learning how to do this. Welcome. There's my hand waving. I probably need to be slightly over for this to look better, but oh well. We are back. We are back once more with more Steins Gate. As I believe we're about to get to the interesting part. Or well, the more interesting part, you could call it. But without further ado, I guess let's get into it. Did I go to page 4? I did not. Okay, so this is the most recent. Dogma in Event Horizon. Chapter 5. Okay, I have to remember what the fuck everyone's moves are? Moves. They're moves. They're, voices. Fuck me. I also have to, like, remember that I'm with a camera now, so I can't, like, have my hand on my mouth like I used to a bunch. Okay. To summarize, just now, when the phone wave name subject to change shook the building, the 42-inch CRT was on. But when Mr. Braun turned the TV off, the shaking stopped immediately. The discharge... Oh, hold on. I just now realized that, like, because of, of, like, the difference between what I do for Switch games and what I do for PC games, my model is looking in the opposite direction. So just give me 1 second. I'm gonna flip him. Transform. Flip. I'm gonna hope to God it's horizontal, vertical? Fuck, no. It's not vertical. Hold on. Not vertical. It's horizontal. It's horizontal. Why do I keep getting these fucking mixed up? Okay. Now I need to move myself in VTube Studio. Here we go. Okay. We're good. We're good. At least I hope. Alright. The discharge was interrupted. I put a banana in just to be sure nothing happened. I'm glad. We shouldn't waste food. Nobody replies to Mayuri's off-point statement. We're busy reading about the cathode ray tubes on the internet. It doesn't take long before we find something interesting. A cathode ray tube is a component called an electron gun. Oh, that's right. Yeah, in the old CRTs, they have it's. I never quite understood this when my my teacher back in high school explained this to me, how CRTs have a gun in them. I just always assumed it was like a it's just something that looked like a gun, but I guess there is actually just a electron gun that just sits and shoots electrons, which uses extreme heat and a strong electric field to accelerate electrons and turn them into a beam. The electron beam striking the TV screen's phosphor layer is what generates the picture. An electron gun could certainly work as a lifter. We found the answer. The electrons emitted by the 42-inch CRT are holding the phone wave's black hole open. And the discharge phenomenon is the result. So the reason we can't use the phone wave at night is because the Braun Tube workshop's closed? Tube Workshop doesn't have explicitly strict business hours, but it's usually open from around 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That matches up perfectly with my observation that the phone wave, name subject to change, only works between noon and 6 p.m. The few instances of it hasn't worked during that time frame can be explained by the TV being off. But how can a cathode ray tube emit such a strong electron stream? It's not about having a strong electron stream. If stronger were better, CERN would have solved the lifter problem long ago. I see. So it can't be too strong or too weak. By freak coincidence, the 42-inch CRT's electron gun appears to have exactly the right level of electron discharge. That's the only explanation. Somehow, the conditions here were perfect to create a time machine. Frankly, it's a miracle. No, Christina, not a miracle. This is the choice of Steins Gate. Rather than glare at me, as she has so many times in the past, Kursu shoots me an exasperated smile. Whatever it is, it's worked. Mary looks up from her costume with a question in her eyes. So, what do we have to do to complete Super Phone Wave, Chan? Now that we've found the cause, there's nothing left to hold us back. We can safely conclude that time leaping is possible when, and only when, that television is on. We should probably test it, right? There's still the final check of the phone wave to do. Huh? Yeah, that was Daru. You're right. Okabe? What? Go downstairs and turn that TV back on. Ha ha ha. That's hilarious. Christina, allow me to dub that. Mission impossible. I'm not going back down there. My head still hurts from last time. Next time, I doubt I'll make it out alive. Whatever. Just go already. Kursu orders me with a sour look. It's like I'm the assistant here. If anyone can do it, it's you. You made an amazing discovery just now, didn't you? Assistant mine, have you finally recognized my greatness as a mad scientist? No. Ah. Damn. That was harsh. Oh, oops. Was I supposed to flatter him so he'd feel like going, right? Yes, you're amazing mad scientist. It's too late. Anyway, now that we've found the lifter, the time leap machine is 99% complete. Kursu's expression suddenly turns serious, but I can see the hunger in her eyes and the flush of excitement on her cheeks. Let me turn my camera just a bit. There we go. That should be a bit more, like, direct. She knows we can stand on the threshold of a new age in science, and she cannot resist the lure of the unknown. She's a true scientist. No doubt about it. It's your dream, isn't it? To invent a time machine? Our dream. I've never really thought about it that way. But she's right. My hands are shaking. Not from the fear of Mr. Braun, but from the excitement. I will become the undisputed Lord of Time. With that power, I shall shatter the system, and chaos will rule the... Okabe? Kursu interrupts my speech. I wasn't asking Hohoin Kiyoma. I was asking Okabe. She spears me with her gaze. I meet it head on. After a few moments, I feel my mouth curve into a smile. I'll do it. Leave it to me. With that, I head downstairs. A cracked skull and an empty wallet are a small price to pay for science. Uh-huh. Kursu and Daru send me off with an applause, for some reason. Mayuri's the only one who looks worried, but I pat her head in reassurance. When I get downstairs, Suzuha and the chipmunk are sitting side by side on the bench outside. Sup? Nei gives a quick bow, then hides behind Suzuha. That shaking upstairs put the boss in a bad mood. Nei and I are waiting it out. Damn. Nah, I really don't want to go in there. Are you okay? Dad hit you pretty hard. I'll have you know that my brain is more valuable than the Mona Lisa. Your father may have set humanity back a few hundred years by wiping out my brain cells. Such a regrettable loss. Suzuha clasps her hands in solemn prayer. I'm not dead. Just my brain cells. I'm sorry. Daddy did something bad. I hate doing her voice. Chipmunk, what a gentle heart you have. I can't believe she's Mr. Braun's daughter. I suppose I share some of the blame. Your father and I are even. Nei smiles slightly at my words of comfort. Oh my god. This is why I had to change my key bindings, because to get the phone out, it's Z, and Z was originally my blush before. Lukako, about festivals. I see, it's true festivals are crowded. I was hoping I might run into you at one. But I guess the chances of that were pretty slim to begin with. It's not like I go to every festival. Please don't misunderstand. P.S. I only did 5 practice swings with Summit. Okay. Now then, part-time warrior, I have a request of you. I need you to distract Mr. Braun for about 5 seconds. Suzuha's eyes start to shine. You mean seduce him? She flexes her bicep for some reason. Go on, touch it. She insists, so I poke it. It's just as hard as her confidence suggests. She's probably stronger than me. But I don't understand what flexing has to do with seduction. Nobody said anything about seduction. It doesn't matter how you do it. I'm not much of a warrior if I can't handle that. Besides, you said you'd help me search for my father, right? I'm only returning the favor. I see. Then I leave it in your capable hands. Okie dokie. Suzuha, don't be mean to Daddy, okay? Christ. Don't worry, I won't be mean. Indeed. I want to complain that she's the one being mean, but I just said we were even, so I refrain. Wait here, Nei. Chipmunk nods. When we enter the store, we find Mr. Braun cleaning up pieces of broken CRT. When our eyes meet, another vein pops on his forehead. If you came to apologize, I'll listen, but your rent's going up. Understand? I'm sorry about what happened. I overreacted. As a token of apology, my lab's representative, Ame Suzuha, would like to present you with a gift. Boss, get ready. With a vigorous shout, which in no way seems appropriate for seduction, Suzuha whips off her jacket and... What the fuck is happening? Yeah. Throws it into Mr. Braun's face. What? I can see your bra. Oh, fuck's sake. No, wait, that's not a bra, but a tight tank top. That leaves her midriff. Oh, well, then it's safe for Twitch. Okay. Yet Suzuha shows no sign of embarrassment as she rushes Mr. Braun. She slips behind him, grabs her coat, and pulls it tight against his face. Okabe Rintaro, Now's your chance. Kill him. Now, wait just a second. Is this your idea of seduction? It looks like you're trying to suffocate him. Hurry. Mr. Braun flails his arms, trying to escape Suzuwa's restraint. There's a huge difference in strength between the two. It's only a matter of time before he shakes Suzuwa off. Well done, warrior. Your heroism will be remembered. Realizing that the only choice is to go for it, I dash to the counter, grab the remote, and switch it to the switch on the 42-inch CRT. After about 2 seconds, an image appears on the giant screen. At the same time, the ceiling starts shaking. Kurisu activated the phone wave named subject to change with perfect timing. It's shaking again, Okabe Rintaro. What's going on? Did she really take off her clothes without knowing why? You're a lifesaver, part-time warrior. If you can, keep him restrained for 10 more seconds. During that time, I escape from the store. Outside, Nei's following earthquake drill procedure, crouching while protecting her head. Following. Oh, she's following the procedure. Okay. I ignore that and look up to the second floor. At exactly the same time, Kurisu appears in the window and gives me a happy thumbs up. But a second later, she blushes, shoots me a glare, and disappears inside as if nothing happened. What's with her attitude? I'm risking my life here. In any case, the experiment was a success. The 42-inch CRT was the key, as I suspected. Now, how do I explain this to Mr. Braun? I don't want him to kick me out of the building. Perhaps I shouldn't have left it to Suzuwa. Yeah, yeah, that seems a bit, I timidly peek into the store to gauge the situation. Come on, boss, give me back my jacket. Suzuwa's there, fidgeting in her tank top as Mr. Braun glares down at her. Shut up. I'm confiscating this. Her jacket? You pervert. You're the pervert throwing your shirt in my face like some kind of dancer. That's pretty... Fuck's sake. That's pretty kinky. Gotta remember that to thank Okabe after I kill him. What the fuck? Kinky? Don't say things like that. It's gross. Anyway, you can work like that for the rest of the day. Christ almighty. You're such a fucking dickhead, dude. Go stand out front and use that flat tummy of yours to attract customers. I'll tell Nei on you. Huh. Who's she gonna believe? You or her old man? Damn. No problems here. Suzuwa's seduction strategy worked, I guess. Mr. Braun. What a guy. What a guy. What the fuck is that noise? A little while later, I'm lying on the sofa watching high school baseball. Kumamoto and Aichi are locked in fierce struggle for the playoffs. Just then, the clack-clack of the sewing machine in the lounge suddenly stops. Oh, that was a sewing machine. Oh, Corinne, can you come here? She motions to me while holding the costume. What does she want? I walk over to her. Can you hold this for me? Spread it out like whap, whap, whap. What the fuck? No, Daru. Fuck's sake, man. Come on. Mayushi, say whap again. Whap. What the fuck? Huh? I got a whap. Pop it already, perv. I follow Mayori's directions and spread the costume out by the sleeves. She inspects it from a few paces away. It's hard to believe, given her usual ditziness, but Mayuri is very serious about her art. That's why cosplayers value her costumes so highly. The costume I'm holding now is a custom made for Lukako. I thought Lukako was against it, but I guess Mayuri managed to persuade her. Okay, thanks. Mayuri looks tired. She's been working all night. But that doesn't dim the brightness of her satisfied smile. Can Daru get off screen with this fucking nosebleed? Finished! It's done. Yep, I finished before Chris-chan. We were racing. You win, Mayuri. Congratulations. Damn you, assistant. She treats me and Daru like garbage. But Mayuri gets the sisterly touch. Actually, I'm just about finished too. Kurisu connects the two cords she's holding. Done. Celebration is in order. But nobody cheers. It's a tie. Man, I'm tired. I want Ferris-tan to comfort me. Honestly, I don't feel like cheering either. And it's not because I'm tired. We worked around the clock for 3 straight days to finish the time leap machine. But now that it's complete, I realize that part of me never truly believed it would happen. I feel my enthusiasm cooling rapidly, the fire quenched by one stark question. What do we do with it? I look at Kurisu. She, too, seems less than enthused. We may have created a monster here. I look at the improved phone wave, name subject to change, again. Yo! Morning, Happy. How you doing? The biggest change is that the headgear attached to the X6800. It looks like something out of a low-budget cyberpunk movie. Fortunately, we don't need nerve jacks or brain chips for it to work. You just put it on and let the sensors do the rest. Doing okay? Working hard? Oh? Oh, working hard? What, perchance, could you be working on, if you are comfortable in saying so? Money Pog? Ooh, Money Pog. I like how that's the fucking name of it. It's not Bird Pog, it's Money Pog. Oh shit. Money Pog. God, I'm so fucking excited for those emotes, dude. Ugh. Why don't we decide what to call it first? I vote Heavenly Express. Phonewave 3rd Edition, version 1.0. Silly hat Phonewave chan. No consensus. You guys have too much free time. Does that mean you're abstaining from the vote? Time leap machine. That's terrible. Come on. Simple is best, right? I mean, that's what Okabe's been calling it for the past 2 days. Looks like my assistant has 0 naming sense. I don't want to hear that from a Chinibio headcase like you. Oh, so Makase she knows the word Chinibio. I sense your otaku level is quite high. I heard it from a friend. I have no idea where it comes from. A bald-faced lie. She should just confess to being an at channeler. Kurisu meets my grin with an icy glare. It's up to you, Mayuri. Choose one. Whenever the lab is divided on a name, the right to decide belongs to Mayuri. I think Time Leap Machine is fine.
silly hat phone wave Chan is super close, though.
Somehow I knew she'd say that.
Like I said, simple is best. Mayuri gets it. Hehehe.
I want to object, but it's an unwritten rule not to complain once Mayuri's made a decision. Very well. Time leap machine it is. Assistant, explain for us all how the time leap machine works. I know the basics, but I want to hear details. Kurisu nods and stands in front of the whiteboard. Okay, here we go. Exposition.
In short, this device converts memories to data and sends them to the past. Let's begin with what we all know. By freak coincidence, the phone wave is able to produce ring singularities, much like John Teeter's time machine. Though, through the ring singularity, we were able to send up to 36 bytes of data to the past. The signal can only be received by phones. While that does limit the range of effect, it also removes an element of uncertainty from the equation. Unlike D-mails, memory data is sent in the form of a phone call, so we will be using a phone number, not an email address, to set the destination. The ring singularity is made naked and stable by a device known as a lifter. In our case, that's the 42-inch CRT downstairs. She explained the basics. Next, she'll explain the modifications made to the phone wave name subject to change into a time leap machine. Aw, that little face. I love those. The phone wave now has headgear attached. This headgear records the nerve impulses in the temporal lobe of the brain, specifically the CA3 region of the hippocampus, where memories are stored. Then, using VR technology, we encode the nerve impulses into electrical signal data. It comes out to approximately 3.2 terabytes. 3.24 terabytes. It's less than I expected, but we're talking about the entirety of a person's memories. By the way, we'll set it up so the data decodes automatically after a certain amount of time. Anybody well versed in programming can do this. I had Hashida make the code. Anyway, next we send the memory data through the net to the LHC in France. This is so fucking complicated. We're taking your memories, we're putting them in a microwave, we're sending them to France, then we're gonna fucking put them back in time, you're gonna call yourself, and then you're gonna remember the future. The building has a direct line to CERN for some reason, so we can transfer data at an insanely high speeds. How long does it take to send 3.24 terabytes of data? We have 64 direct lines in parallel, so if we send it in 64 parts, it should upload in about 45 seconds. That's pretty fast. Yeah, for fucking 3 terabytes in 45 seconds? What the fuck? That's crazy. Even by today's standards, that's fucking nuts. And this game's 12 years old. Next, we hijack the LHC, create a mini black hole, and use that black hole's supergravity to compress the data into 36 bytes. 3 terabytes is about 3 trillion bytes. Compressing that into just 36. That's one hell of a squeeze. Will the compression take long? It's practically... Oh, this is Daru. It's practically instantaneous. 23 milliseconds or thereabouts. We're using a black hole after all. Just use a zip file. Duh. Fucking just compress your memory with fucking WinRAR, alright? No one pays for it. By the way, the compression only holds in the immediate vicinity of the black hole. Once the data leaves that area, it will begin to decompress on its own. This too takes 23 milliseconds.
It has to make it back to the X6800 and to the phone wave within that window. It's only 36 bytes. Shouldn't be a problem. Continue, Christina.
While the data is being compressed, Christ. While the data is being compressed, we use the phone wave to generate a Kerr ring singularity. When the electron discharge phenomenon occurs, we take the 36 byte data, patch it in, and send it to the past.
What the fuck? Okay, wait. So we're getting the memories. We're scanning the memories, putting it in the microwave. We're sending it to France, activating the France Hadron Collider, compressing the memories. Then we're getting it back to the microwave. Then we're fucking sending it to the past? That seems a bit absurd.
This part is just like a D-mail. The data travels to the specified time, where it arrives at the recipient's phone. By now, 23 milliseconds should have passed, so the data will be fully decompressed.
A bit. Only a bit. Yeah, just a small bit. I don't know. I think WinRAR might be a bit better than, fuck, I don't know. Activating an LHC in France. Just a theory. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can press 3 terabytes down to 36 bits. With anything like actually real, without like fucking destroying whatever it is.
By now, 23 milliseconds should have passed. The data will be fully decompressed. Next, the decoding program runs, converting the data back into nerve impulse signals. These signals are discharged from the phone's earpiece at approximately 0.02 amperes, a pretty weak charge.
Are we fucking shocking ourselves?
If the recipient has the phone to his ear, they should go straight into his brain.
Assuming he answers his phone.
If he doesn't, the transfer fails. Fortunately, we lose nothing but that copy of the memory data.
Why a phone call instead of an email?
Because we need the recipient to put the phone to his ear. Otherwise, the signals won't reach his temporal lobe.
Have you ever done that thing? You can actually do this. This is real. If you have a car with like a fob, where like you can hit the lock button. If you're too far out of range of it, if you put it to your chin or your temple, it'll go farther. Because your brain has like a mineral or something in it that actually amplifies that particular like wave. I've done it before and it's actually really fucking helpful. My mother doesn't like me doing it because she's like, you're gonna give yourself cancer. And I'm like, I'm not gonna give myself cancer from a fucking key fob, Mom. By the way, we've turned into Boston accents. We're nowhere near Boston.
She indicates the side of her head. In this area, you have the frontal lobe and the temporal lobe of the brain. As I explained before, the hippocampus, where memories are stored, is inside the temporal lobe. The phone wave sends out an electrical impulses to pass through the temporal lobe and into the hippocampus, overriding the recipient's memories.
Oh, so it's not adding those week of memories. It's fucking overriding everything. Well, I guess it's in the past, so, you know, a lot of it's the same. Most of it's the same. But, like, if you could just override people's memories with just, like, a fucking bit of electricity, that seems like the bigger thing to like, fuck with. Than, like... Well, I guess this is time travel. That is pretty big.
Still, I don't know. Yep, okay. At the same time, the phone sends impulses. Real fear, to be honest. Yeah, this shit, not gonna lie, a little bit scary. A little bit scary. But, like, also, it's you in the past, right? So it's like, if it works, I mean, shit. Would you know? You know? At the same time, the phone sends impulses that stimulate the frontal lobe as well. This is important. Remember that the frontal lobe is responsible for sending retrieval signals to the temporal lobe. This is how you remember things. By stimulating the frontal lobe, we force it to send retrieval signals keyed to the new memory data. Thus, a recipient recalls all the memories as if they were his own. Which of course they are, or will be in the future. This happens in less than a second. Now the recipient has the same memories as the sender. The time leap is complete. If the data came from 1 week in the future, the recipient will remember that week as if he experienced it firsthand. We need to be aware that the consciousness and personality aren't transferred. Both of those depend on the recipient. Fuck's sake, Daru! Explain it with boobs! Why? Why this again? Boobs? Kursu dissolves into a blushing, stammering mess. Looks like it's up to me to answer Daru's question. Not with boobs, obviously. Let's say we send your memories to you in grade school. Right now, you're some kind of omnisexual pervert who... fucking omnisexual pervert. What the fuck does... Omni? Hold on, like an Omni tool? Some kind of omnisexual pervert who thinks inanimate objects are hot. But in elementary school, you were still an innocent child. I was a boring little... fuck's sake. I was a boring little bastard who did nothing but study. What of it? Basically, that little bastard would suddenly have all your perverted memories, but his personality wouldn't change. It's not like you'll become that famous anime detective with the looks of a child and the brains of an adult. What? That sucks. This isn't like the time leaping you see in sci-fi novels. We aren't yet capable of transferring personality and consciousness. Ahem. Since you need a phone to receive the signal, you can only send memories to times you had one. We also need to make sure that the sender and recipient are the same person. If someone besides your past self, your parents, or a friend, for instance, answers the phone, then the nerve impulse signals will be projected into their brain instead. If that happens, your memories could overwrite theirs, which could obviously cause serious damage to their psyche. Holy shit. Could you imagine just having your fucking... like, it doesn't override the memory of the personality. No, it doesn't override the personality or the consciousness. But fucking all your memories? But, like, what is a consciousness and what is a personality without memories? You know? That's a really good question. Kursu ends her explanation and takes a short breath. The lab falls into silence. I exchange glances with Kursu and Daru. I look at Mayuri, but her expression is blank. I guess it was too complicated for her. So, I clear my throat. It's time for the million-dollar question. What do we do with it? Do with what? The time leap machine, of course. What do we do with it? For once, my assistant has nothing to say. I already know that she fears we've created a monster. Honestly, I feel the same way. After a few moments, Kurisu finally speaks. I know this is like completely off topic, but happy with the money pog. It's fucking like 20 minutes old conversation. This is probably really obvious. But I want it to be like the same colors as like the you know that sub badge you sent me. I want it to be that that color you had. I assume that's obvious, but just yeah, okay, dope. That just popped in my head. I was like, I'm sure Happy knows that, but just in case, just in case I'm the idiot. It's too much for us to handle, that's for sure. The safest thing would be to hand it over to the government for professional research. I gotcha. Dope. Bro, I'm gonna promote the shit out of out of these fucking emotes, bro. They're so fucking good. I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. I can tell that she's not pleased. She's not pleased to have reached this conclusion. She obviously would prefer to experiment with this technology. After all, it's humanity's first time machine. We've finally taken our first steps towards godhood. That's a bit presumptuous. Towards godhood. Today, we seize our destiny and fell a god. I'm sure that the nations of the world would pay billions for just one look at our machine. The possibilities that it represents are limitless. It just doesn't feel real. Mayushi doesn't get it. That's because you don't work on it, Mayushi. Oh, right. What about you, Okabe? And I mean you, not Hoho and Kiyoma. You know, when you think about it, Chinibios were like the very first VTubers. Alright? Especially ones like who made their own like personality. I agree with Kurisu that the time leap machine is dangerous. On the other hand, yeah, man. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Are you trying to say that that the VTuber you is not like your ideal self? It Are you trying to tell me you don't want to be a 6'7" tall elf cursed with immortality with silver hair down to his waist? All right. I mean, shit, you right? I know I'm right. Fuck. Am I ever wrong? Look at me. That's the wrong button. Shit, that's angry. That one's blush. Oh, that brought up the phone. Put the fucking phone away. Fuck. Shit, how do I put the phone away? Okay, right click. I didn't know I rebound these fucking emotes to the numpad and the numpad still does shit in this game? Damn it. I want to experiment. I state my honest feelings. Kurisu gasps. But there are still questions we need to answer. This is unknown territory. Not just for us, for all of humanity. Ooh, well, time leap. I looked at each of the lab mems in turn. And see, what's interesting about this is this machine exists now, on August 13th, right? If he sends his memory back, then they either have to build it again, or he just goes on from there. If he sends it back, like it took them, what, 3 days to make this? If he sends it back like a week, right? Then he can get them to start building it 4 days earlier.
Why stop at a week? You go like 2 weeks back, you know? Daru quickly looks away. Mayuri's expression is blank. Kurisu stares right back at me. It's hard to choose. I'll pass. Ah? Question mark? No thoughts, head empty. Not a single person here wants to be the fuck. Not a single person here wants the honor of being history's first time traveler. Everyone, except for Mayuri, is probably thinking about what could go wrong. What if the time leap were to fail? Fucking jelly man! Jelly man! It's not like CERN's time machine. The possibility of becoming a jelly man is 0. The machine sends data, not the real thing. Don't let your preconceptions influence your decision. You might say it's like a cut and paste of your brain. I don't think it's a cut and paste. I hope it's not a cut and paste. Cut means it removes it, right? I hope it's a copy and paste. Actually, it's more like a copy paste. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And it's just your memories. The original doesn't get erased. Okay, so there's like little to no risk with this. Other than the fact of getting caught by fucking CERN when their Large Hadron Collider, you know, the thing that's 17 kilometers in diameter, just turns on and makes a black hole for no reason. There's a bit of risk with this, but I guess, you know, if we're sending things back in time, then I guess the future never happened. That's a very easy to understand example. But that's not the problem. Time flows in a straight line from past to present to future. At least that's how most humans see it. This raises several questions. What if there's an error somewhere, and the data itself gets fractalized? Let's say I send my memories an hour into the past. My memories would be replaced by a fractalized data. In other words, data full of tiny holes. Wouldn't that cause memory loss? I suppose. 1 hour later, we arrive again at the present. At that time, the me who lost his memories an hour ago and the current me conflict in my brain. Which data set survives? Logically, the present should change as soon as you send your memories to the past. The conflicting current me disappears then. So then, it's not a copy-paste at all, is it? I don't know. No one's ever experienced time travel before. When we send a D-mail, the world is reconstructed based on the change we made to the past. I'm the only one who's aware of this, however. We don't know what happens when you time leap. Oh, this is cursor. We don't know what happens when you time leap. If it's the many worlds interpretation, like Teeter said, then the instant you time leap, it creates 2 possibilities. One where you shift to another world line, and one where you travel back in time on the same world line. Of course, there must also be a world line where the current you doesn't disappear. That would likely correspond to the present that we are experiencing right now. Huh? But that's only if the many worlds interpretation holds in the first place. I thought you didn't believe what Teeter had to say. I'm talking about hypothetically. Teeter doesn't matter right now. If it's the Copenhagen interpretation, then every possible state propagates through space as a wave function. When a particular state is observed, the remaining states collapse, and that
state is fixed. I'm just gonna assume that you're correct, and I'm not gonna look up any of those words because I am too damn dumb to understand what they are. But precise observation is impossible. The problem is who the observer is in this case. Wouldn't it be a third party, like me or Mayushi? Huh? Not necessarily. It might be me. I might be someone else. It could even be God. To begin with, the Copenhagen interpretation and the many worlds interpretation are both micro-scale theories used to explain quantum interactions. No one knows whether they can be applied to humans or to the world at large. What about my personal experiences with reading Steiner? If reading Steiner is the sort of power I think it is, then the world line model is correct. In the end, we arrive at the question of where is the self? This time leap machine only sends memories. That I guarantee. Won't the present be reconstructed at the moment of transfer? That's what happens with Okeran's reading Steiner, right? That makes sense where D-mails are concerned. When we send a D-mail, we're obviously it's interfering. For some reason, I was like, interfering has 2 E's. No, you fucking idiot. Interfering? We're obviously interfering with the past events. But time leaping is different. All you do is send your memories to the past, which isn't the same thing as sending a targeted D-mail. Whether the me who suddenly remembers 1 hour into the future will in fact change the past is something we can't know until it happens. I'm getting confused. It sounds like we're talking about the soul. Isn't that a religious question? Wait. You guys are misunderstanding something. 1 hour isn't enough time for your personality to change. You should be the same person 1 hour ago that you are now. The only difference is that you'll have an extra hour's worth of memories. How can you be sure? Well, I can't. Nobody's tried it before. This discussion's going nowhere. Personality and consciousness can't be strictly defined, so it's hard to imagine what might happen. So which is it? We don't know. We can argue the theories all we want, but in the end, we can only guess. The experiment may end up shattering preconceptions scientists and philosophers have held for centuries. We won't know until we try. That pretty much sums it up. To make matters worse, the subject must be prepared to risk damage to their psyche. Kurisudaru and I say no more. We can't solve this problem. This is our limit as scientists. But haven't we accomplished enough already? The time leap machine itself is worthy of a Nobel Prize. We could sell this technology for billions, if we so choose. If we go public with the time leap machine, we can break CERN's monopoly on time travel technology. That's enough. It has to be. Hey! Mayuri, who's been observing the discussion with glassy eyes, opens her mouth to speak. I have an idea. Why don't we make a banana time leap instead? You know, like all those memories that bananas have, and the phones that bananas have, and I haven't been paying attention to fucking anything you've been saying. Oh, Mayuri. Bananas don't have brains like people do. Oh, you need a brain, huh? Yes. Mayuri never changes. the atmosphere in the room gets a little more relaxed. Let's not experiment. We'll entrust the time leap machine to a suitable research institution, then we'll announce it to the world. Thanks to the lightening of the mood, I can finally say what was on my mind. Neither Kurisu nor Daru objects. No one has touched the time leap machine since that discussion. Ridiculous as it sounds, I can't shake the feeling that it might suck my memories out and fling them into the past. Oh. The machine does have its appeal, of course. Yo, is this the debut? No, I debuted yesterday. I debuted yesterday. I played Xenoblade Chronicles, and now we're playing some more Steins Gate. Well, welcome, Panda. Oh, you missed it. I think it's going up on YouTube in like 3 hours from now. Like I think it's going up at 5:30 my time, and it's 2:30 right now. So I guess if you want to check it out, you should fucking follow me on YouTube with exclamation YT in chat. Is this a convincing sellout yet? God, I hate plugging myself. I feel like such an asshole. Yeah, there you go. That fucking disgustingly long link. I could put my old channel name at the end of it because I'm like sold. Like I'm sold. I read that and I was like, oh yes, I'm speaking. I have my old channel name because my YouTube channel is like super old, right? That I'm grandfathered into having a unique link before I'm like crazy high subscribers. So I could just put it